Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome to Plan B Terraform. This is a Factorio-esque game in that you are kind of building these systems that allow a different set of refined goods as you go along. Now Plan B is based on what is essentially Mars, but it's really not Mars. We're gonna get right into it though. This is the demo and you can play this demo right now. This is a fantastic game. I've already beat the demo, but I wanted to bring it to you guys because, well, I think it's great, so let's get into it. All right, here we go. The goal of the game is to bring supplies to the cities and manage terraforming projects. The first step is to extract iron. Now, iron's going to be these red deposits, and if I'm reading the room correctly, we do have 3 different sets of places, and I don't know that it really matters. We're gonna start with this guy here because this looks like a really solid deposit. Awesome. That is iron ore. We need to build 1 extractor and place it over iron ore. Now, one thing we need to do is we're gonna build a chain line here. So we want to build on one side or the other. We'll start right there, and then we'll build a depot and we'll dedicate that to iron. So what's gonna happen, you see those red bars, once it makes enough iron, it's going to develop that and bring it over to the depot. The depot will then bring it to a factory, and that factory will do that based because we need steel bars. So we're going to do that, and you saw right there, it brought it over. We need to now build 10 extractors and do the work there. So we obviously don't have enough, but we do have 6. So what we can do is do this. This means they will be bringing in everything there. The drone will pick it up and will bring it down the line and bring it to a steel bar factory. That steel bar factory can then unload, and then what we can do is take another, I think it's actually an assembly plant. Am I correct in this? Yes, we need an assembly plant, which we'll place right there. That assembly plant automatically chooses the extractor, so that will work. Now what we're going to do is, if you go super fast forward time, you can see that logistically they will continue to bring things down, which works for me very, very well, and then keeps feeding into the main factory, bringing it to the depot, and then to the extractor. So what we're gonna do is we are going to build 2 more of these. Okay, and also if you hit the middle mouse button, you can place something which works directly like that. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why it's bringing them that way. Doesn't make much sense. We don't need that there. All right, so we completed that, and we're gonna go 2 times speed because I really want them to keep producing, which is going to be awesome. What we need to do is use the factory to transform steel into mechanical parts. So mechanical parts require a steel bar. As you can see, we're probably going to need another source. I'm gonna build that. We're gonna move everything. We got our dedication to steel bars. We have our factory, which is going to make, we need an assembly plant, which is going to make extractors. We have an assembly plant that for now is going to make, we are going to make depots. Because what we're going to eventually need to do is we are going to need to have extras. We only have 1 right now. We're gonna need more extractors to really streamline this process. We can use the factory to make steel into mechanical parts. So we need steel. We need more steel than we're producing, and turn the factory into mechanical parts. So we could simply do that like this. Mechanical parts. So what's going to happen is they'll split 3 ways to determine the best way to allocate the resources. They'll share as much as possible, and we will continue to do that. Now, once we get to the mechanical parts, you can see we're already building them. That's all we need to do. Build 5 factories and place them on the ground. So now what we can do is figure out how to make an assembly plant. An assembly plant takes mechanical parts. So we need to say, hey, we're gonna no longer build, let's transform this depots, let's transform this to an assembly plant or a factory. We can do a factory, and then what it's gonna do is we're making mechanical parts to feed into the assembly plant to make more factories. So that's just kind of a logistical, I won't even say a nightmare. It's not really a nightmare. It's actually relatively intuitive. It's just a manner of figuring out the best production methods to go forward. So it's, again, what we could do is we could build, let's build a factory here, or a depot that's gonna make steel bars. we're going to make a factory. Let's see, let's go. Actually, we need a factory. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So if we were to build iron, 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 we could then go right there. That's going to be the most effective spot. And then we need to do iron there, so that way our factories can both make steel bars. Those steel bars can then pump out depots, which can then feed and make those mechanical parts even more effective. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good right there. We are going to, let's see, we need concrete for that. Cool. Let's build a few assembly plants, which actually I'm not sure that we can. Yeah, we can do that right there. That actually works very well. So we've got that up and running. What we need to do now is build a supply center next to the city, bring it the resources it requires. So our closest city is New Dallas. And so if we build a supply center, we need 4 concrete to create it, which means we need to start a concrete line. Now a concrete line, I don't know if it says, concrete costs sulfur. So we need to build sulfur, which means we also need to make another factory. I think 13 depots is good enough. We are going to switch that over to extractors. We can see a nice big pileup of steel bars, which isn't a bad thing at all. We could have a factory that's going to make more mechanical parts to alleviate that, I wouldn't even call it a blockade. So let's get back over to our sulfur. Now our sulfur doesn't have huge deposits. In fact, this one's going to be a little bit better. So we are going to still develop the same system. 1, 2, 3, 4, which would require 3. We'll do that way. And in fact, we'll do concrete. Nope, we need sulfur, excuse me. Sulfur. And then we'll utilize the bigger, better place there. And then what we can do is we can build a factory right here that is going to make concrete. And then just like that, we're making concrete. All right, everything else going good here. I do believe that it is. We've got factories going, or rather assembly plants. Let's switch that over to factories. We have extractors being built. We have enough depots for now. I don't see a big pile up of steel bars at the moment, so I think we're okay. I'm okay with the pile up of mechanical parts. Now we need an assembly plant, which will make a supply center. Now remember, that doesn't need any depots, so we're going to be making up as much as possible there. And we need New Dallas. So we are going to build, I'm going to assume right next to it. Now it needs concrete. Now the only way we can get concrete there is by building roads and a road stop, which is going to develop the lines in that direction. So now what we need is we need 2 assembly plants. 1 assembly plant to make the road stops, another assembly plant to build the roads. Now again, this is where a cap would come in. I don't need 500 road stops. I simply need 6 or 8 even for this demo. So what we might end up doing is simply waiting for them to make enough that we know we need for now. So that's going to be 2, and then just switching it to a factory. It's not going to do anything there, and we're not that far from the New Dallas Center. So what I might actually do is go ahead and make 2 sets of roads. And then you'll notice one thing we also need in order for this to work is we need vehicles. Now vehicles are going to be interesting. That is going to be an assembly plant. And that takes 2 mechanical parts. So if we go down here, we can see we've got plenty of mechanical parts. We are going to assemble trucks. Trucks are going to be necessary. Very, very necessary. And then what we can do here, we can build our first truck stop, and we can build our next one right there. We need to connect the 2, simply drag and drop. Now, of course, we want to make probably the most efficient line. Gonna be the easiest point from A to B. So we have our lines, and all you gotta do, it's pretty simple. You click on the road stop, you set your destination because we want to go from the concrete over here. We want to do concrete. So that way they will bring and drop off concrete and come back. Now we have trucks already in line. It will automatically do 1 of them. And what we need to do now is we'll do 4. Yeah, we'll do 4, we'll do 6. And you'll see there that the drone is able to line up the concrete onto the truck, as he travels on. And the more concrete we have, that will drop off. It's supposed to drop off. Oh, we need a depot. I did forget that. So we're gonna do our depot right here. That depot is going to be concrete. Perfect. So you saw there, it drops it off and it's on its merry road. A little bit faster, we'll see that Dallas, the city of New Dallas, is growing. The supply is good, the status is good, and we are on our way. And there we go. What do we have to do? Build a supply center, grow the population to 10. We are slowly and steadily on our way. Now we're doing good with everything else. I don't need any more of these. And this is what I mean by building a cap. I think having caps implemented would be just fantastic and would allow us to do good things without getting very overwhelmed. So we're gonna turn those roads off because we don't need them right now. Over here, you can see that we have tons of mechanical parts, which is okay. And we are still producing lots of steel. We have a decent number of extractors. Yeah, we got plenty of extractors. We're gonna work on depots. We have enough assembly plants, we have enough factories, but we're gonna alternate between the two. And these guys are still gonna make parts, they're still gonna make steel. We could even, oh goodness, I mean, we could even really go bonkers. But you see the Factorio-esque side of this, and it's one thing that I really enjoy about this game. Now, bigger cities require new resources. We now have aluminum bars, which requires aluminum ore. We have carbon, which is gonna be generated from an atmospheric extractor. But an atmospheric extractor costs mechanical parts and aluminum bars. So now we have a combination of things coming together to make what we need for there. And then a landmark tower allows us to locate various industries. And then O2, of course, is created from the atmospheric thing as well. So now we need to work on our aluminum. There is aluminum. There's a huge deposit. So that will work for me. What we need here, wow, we've got a lot. We're gonna just build. That might be enough. We've got our depots. Actually, what I should do, get used to that. And then we have our factory, which is going to make aluminum bars. We get that rolling. We drop our piece here with aluminum bars, so it gets built up. And then what we need to do is we need that. We need that, but it requires mechanical parts and aluminum bars. So what we can do, we have a ton of mechanical parts. We are going to build a new trade, I wouldn't even call it a trade route per se. And do we want, yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. This may not be the most efficient, so let's not do that then. Let's create a middle ground. We are going to build an assembly plant right here. We actually might build 2 of them just for kicks and giggles. Atmospheric extractors, why not? We built 1 there, and then we need, goodness gracious, the scrolling might just make me a little bit sick. And 1 there. And then what we can do, can I not build straight? Are we not building straight? We're not doing that? I see where we might have some issues there, but we can always go like that. Now, this is a little excessive, and I don't know if this is how the whole game will be, but there's our first line. And now we need our second, which won't even come close to reaching because we are simply out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait just a little bit and wait for our production to increase. For our roads, oh, there we go. We're cranking it. All right, here we go. Our factories are set. Destination. Ooh, we're actually gonna need 2 of them here. We are going to need 2. All right, so we got to do some placements, some replacements. There we go. We are going to drop off aluminum bars, and we're gonna drop off, 10 might be excessive. We'll do 6, simply because we are limited by the numbers, the ability of a guy. Okay, so we can only do 1 drop off here. Only 1 line per stop. We got you, man. I understand. And then mechanical parts. Yep. Aluminum bars. There we go. Oh, looky there. Looky there. And if it misses, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Very nice. And we have just built a couple of atmospheric extractors. Now the atmospheric extractors, again, they generate a whole bunch of things. They generate, extract dioxygen and carbon from the atmosphere. So it's going to create two things. And so what we can do is we can simply start a new line. That's going to be a little bit ways away, because one thing I have learned in the last time I played is that it's probably for the best if these are not close to each other. And then, let's see, what's the best way? We almost need their own separate things for each factory, which is a little bit ridiculous, but I understand. We're going to do O2 and carbon. And then I think we're just going to have to, I wish I could take all of this. Instead, we'll kind of have to do this. So it's going to create that. So what does this city need now? What we are going to need are two different lines. And I'm not sure that I really like how that is going. So we can do carbon here, oxygen here. But we can't do that because this guy, there we go. So we need O2. What we can do is we could build another supply center. Yeah, this gets complicated. This was not as complicated as I had it last time. It makes a difference that you can't do the right number of things. So right now this needs O2. But can we provide that? Will that... Okay, yeah, that won't do anything for it. What happens if I provide O2 right here? It won't bring that into there. So that's a very intriguing thing and kind of should affect where you are going to. We're going to remove that line. We're just going to make this a normal road, but we're going to have to push that in over there, which is just wonky as all get out. So set destination to O2. We need O2 right there. I think that's what we'll probably end up having to do from now on. So with that in mind, I just, I ruined it all. It's a little bit funny that I can just destroy things and I don't think it has detrimental effects, but that's okay. We'll go right here. I think I actually just destroyed New Dallas is what I think I did, which would actually be pretty funny. Okay, New Dallas is gonna make it no matter what. And then, yeah, New Dallas is gonna die. That's too funny. I actually really think that's pretty darn good. Let's move everything closer. There we go. I rescued it. It's all good. We need to just remove that line so that dude doesn't stay there anymore. And then once we reach a certain point, then they'll be able to do stuff. Now, one of the cool things that we could do right now is we could simply come over here to New Jakarta and we could start this all over. We come over here to New Guadalajara and we could simply just have ourselves a good time expanding cities in multiple ways. And one of the things about this game is that you'll eventually be terraforming and you'll be doing other things that will allow you to expand everything else. Now, as you see right here, we do have plenty of O2 coming into this, which is going to allow a relatively rapid expansion of our people. Yes, yes indeed. All right, guys, I will be right back as soon as we hit the next thing, but you can see our city expanding, and in fact, we might just kind of do a little bit of a time lapse just to see if it's pretty cool looking. I'll be right back. Look at us, New Dallas is starting to expand, and now it needs reinforced concrete. But reinforced concrete is literally not anything that I think I can actually make. Let's take a look here. That would be a factory and or a supply depot. So let's just see if it's something we could do. It sure isn't. So there's that, and then we go here. Yep, reinforced concrete isn't anything that we can do. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this short little video on Plan B Terraform. Now again, it's not the craziest name. It's not absolutely amazing, and there's certainly room for improvement, as you saw, with limitations to needing or not needing to build certain things. I'm working on 800 roads or 700 roads. Seems a little excessive, but regardless, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to go play it yourself. Now, it'll take you a little bit longer perhaps, but that's all good. The link will be in the description. If you enjoyed the video, do all the things that you know to do. Thank you so much, and I look forward to giving you more strategy building games in the near future. This is Havoc. I'm out of here.